Nå går det.
Ok.
Ok. Helmer.
Helmer, go away.
Gå legg deg. Legge seg.
Hi everybody! Okay, attention please.
Okay.
Hi everybody and welcome back to Sit and Knit for a Bit with Arne and Carlos, and we are as always your hosts.
Arne and Carlos.
We've got Helmer here as well, we've got Freya here, the whole gang is here. Framer are being a little bit, the way they usually are.
Yeah.
I hope he's settling down now. Oh, thankfully. Yeah. Anyway, welcome to our weekly podcast. It's a podcast about absolutely nothing, and it's also a podcast about all the things we love, knitting, crocheting, embroidery, creativity, cleaning. Well,
that's not fun.
No, you don't love cleaning, do you?
But it's kind of funny because every time, like every week when we do this, we have to go through what we did last week, and there's amazing how much things popping up. There's so many especially now because we do the spring clean and it will go on for months. Yeah. There's so much stuff popping up.
There is, yeah.
And it's kind of funny to show what we're working on now.
Yeah, that's that's the one side of the podcast. We've got all the stuff that we want to talk about, all the projects that we're doing, all the ideas that we're having. And then you have that other side where our life is, I would say right now, our life is pretty boring. Well, there's some exciting things happening this week though, but pretty much boring life where nothing's happening. We've been isolated for forever. We went from traveling 175 days a year to not traveling at all. And nothing happens, and yet we can always find tons of things to talk about.
It's been warm.
It has, It's been really warm this past week, and perhaps you're noticing that we've got a little bit of a tan anyway.
At least you got it.
No, I can see that you've got some beautiful red on your face as well. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude or anything.
But it's been warm.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people think that it's not so warm because we still have a little bit of snow.
Yeah, that's the thing. We get a really bad reputation for our weather here in Norway. A lot of people who may not live in countries where there's snow, as soon as these people see a picture of snow, they immediately assume it's cold. Yeah. And it's not really black and white like that. If you see a photograph with snow, it doesn't necessarily mean it's freezing. And the example of that is right now at this time of the year, we've got a blue sky, we've got the sun out for a very long time. Right now the sun rises around 6 and sets around 8. So there's this sun the whole day, and then we've got a frozen lake and there's still snow. And what happens is the sun actually reflects on the ice of the lake and the snow, and then it kind of reflects back on us. So not only are we getting a lovely tan because of that, but it's a very strong sun. We need to wear sunscreen, and even us, we walk out, we see the snow, we're kind of thinking, oh, it's probably a little cold. We sit down in our outdoor space, and little by little we start taking off a layer of clothes, and then another layer and another layer.
This week I've been watching Kate in the last homely house.
Yeah, me too.
And she had this beautiful video where she talked about her favorite things. It was so relaxing. I was
very
crocheting
relaxing.
Because I'm cleaning. I'm doing some crocheting.
But didn't she mention it was cold?
And she said she had to put on a jacket because it was quite cold, and it was green on the grass. There was no leaves, but it was so nice to see England this time of the year because it's
beautiful. Well,
it's earlier than where we are.
They're in mud season now, I think, and then they go from mud season straight to an amazing spring that we don't have here.
But she said on the video that she had to put on a cardigan because it was quite chilly outside, and we were sitting in our long johns and t-shirts, and it was 20 plus. Yeah,
so I came out.
Very warm now.
I came out wearing ski pants, and then I had my long johns underneath, and I had a couple of layers. I sat down, and after 15 minutes I took my pants off, and there I was in my long johns. And then after a while I kept taking off layers. I ended up sitting out there in my underwear and my t-shirt because it was that warm.
But then we have a huge difference between daytime and nighttime, so that's why the snow melts a little bit slower because it freezes again. It
freezes at night.
But it's huge difference between daytime and nighttime.
So just because there's snow, don't assume it's cold because it doesn't have to be. And keep in mind, our home is on the mountains, so we are at high altitude. which is the reason why we still have all this snow. The valley below doesn't have snow anymore. No. So the snow lingers a little bit longer because we're in the mountains.
We're like 3 weeks later, I think.
Yeah, about 3 weeks later. And if you've ever gone skiing, and if you come from the US and you've been to Colorado or Utah, or I don't know, Montana, Wyoming for skiing, you probably know that you'll get a tan while you're there, and that it can be warm. Or if you've been to Austria, Switzerland, and all those places.
See, Carlos, now we're turning to be very Norwegian again.
Talking about the weather.
We talk about the weather.
Yeah.
That's what Norwegians do.
Well, let's talk about long johns then.
Yeah.
So last week I declared that I was officially over Zoom meetings, and I was going to start dressing up again. And that was actually very good in theory.
From the
well, yeah, that's the thing. It was a good thing to say and think in theory. Now, after the podcast, I accidentally spilled the rest of the tea that was in my mug. I spilled that on my trousers. Now, the trousers I was wearing are these really beautiful trousers in wool. They're by Philippe K. They're really, really nice. And they're kind of wide on the top, and then they kind of go inwards, and they're a little cropped. The good thing about them is that they have an elastic rubber band on the waist. Anyway, I spilled my coffee, or my tea, sorry. I put them in the washer, and I forgot to wash them. So they're still in the washer unwashed. So today I was going to put on a pair of jeans.
But you didn't. You have the...
I didn't because, well, I wanted this whole COVID thing to be over, and I wanted to start dressing again. But as I went to put on a pair of jeans, I realized that they have mysteriously shrunk in the closet. And then I tried another pair, and then I tried another pair. I tried like 6 pairs of jeans, and they've all shrunk. I don't know why, and I don't know how.
It happens, especially wool. Wool has a tendency to shrink.
Well, jeans are not wool.
I think cotton also shrinks in the closet, especially through these times.
Yes, definitely.
Because they don't get out much.
Yeah.
So they're like hidden in the closet for months. So you know, it happens.
Yeah, and now I'm back to Zoom meeting attire again. I mean, I'm just gonna do this, okay? I'm wearing long johns.
I can't lift my legs because I think I start to get holes again.
Yeah.
In my long john. I have
so we're back to Zoom meetings. I have to say though, I am gonna go online to Philippa K, and I'm gonna look at those trousers, and I'm getting them in every color. Because I mean, they're the only ones that didn't shrink.
I want to be more stylish now. I feel I want to be like, I saw this YouTube video with this guy from England, Sir Roy Strong.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
He was so stylish. I think it's time to be more stylish.
A little more color.
We're getting older, we're getting grayer, we need color.
Yeah, I know, I feel that too. If I wear gray, I feel like a little, shall we call it a gray mouse? You know, that could blend into the wall and just disappear.
We saw the video about that, that was so funny.
Yeah. Okay. A little gray mouse that kind of disappears into the walls because you're so gray. And with my hair this color, you know, there's only one way. and so yeah, I'm gonna be adding splashes of color as well.
Maybe we should paint the walls.
Yeah, the walls are gray in this particular room, so that doesn't really help.
Put on the scarf you make it.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the scarf later. Anyway, it's been tough. I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna buy new pants, and they're all gonna have that elastic waist because at least that doesn't shrink.
No.
The elastic waist
I don't
pants.
think they don't shrink.
So and I don't know what happened, and I'm gonna do some detective work and see if I can figure out why my trousers shrank. Anyway, back to last week. We had a great time doing our podcast, and we did the pom-pom video, and in the previous Sit and Knit for a Bit, we talked about the outdoor toilets and everything, and we are, you know, happy to read comments and that you enjoyed it a lot. And today, I think we're going to do some closure on the outdoor toilet topic. I mean, how long can you
We can't talk about it forever. But here's the picture we talked about.
So this is our image that we actually keep in our bathroom. We don't have an outdoor. Well, we do have an outdoor toilet. We don't use it.
We don't use it.
But we have a beautiful bathroom.
Only if it's a crisis. If there's a crisis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we have a beautiful bathroom in our house. We've kind of decorated it like a sitting room kind of thing. It's got a shower, and it's got the toilet, and it's got the sink, but it's got a lot of beautiful furniture and some upholstery as well.
A daybed?
A daybed. There's a daybed in our bathroom.
That's good if you're sick.
Yeah. So it's a very stylish bathroom, and in the bathroom we have this portrait that you're seeing behind us. This is the King and Queen of Norway, actually the grandparents of our current king. So you've got King Håkon the Seventh, and you've got Queen Maud of Norway.
And he was a prince from Denmark, and she was English.
Yes,
From England.
Prince or King Håkon was originally a prince of Denmark. His name was Prince Carl of Denmark. He was related to all the royal families in Europe. He was related to the British royal family through Queen Alexandra of England, who was a Danish princess. He was related to the Russian imperial family through his aunt.
And she was related to Queen Alexandra. Also.
Yeah, she was her daughter.
She was her daughter.
She was Queen Alexandra's daughter. So
Were they cousins?
yes,
Oh.
they were cousins.
You know your genealogy.
I do,
You
yes.
know the royals.
Yeah, I'm very interested in history. So yeah, they were cousins. And in 1905, Norway became independent from Sweden. Norway had been independent in the Middle Ages and then became part of Denmark and was part of Denmark until 1814 when Norway received independence from Denmark, but then ended up in a union with Sweden. And then that union lasted from 1814 until 1905. But in 1814, Norway got its constitution, so it's still something we celebrate every year on May 17th, the National Day, Constitution Day. And then in 1905, when Norway gained independence from Sweden, the population of Norway, they wanted a head of state that was a king.
Yeah.
So actually, they approached Prince Carl of Denmark, and he said that I will accept the throne of Norway if there is a referendum and if people actually elect me as the king. So he's actually the first or one of the only kings in the world who was elected by the people through a referendum. So interesting, huh?
Yeah, and we had to have picture of these people in our house because he has actually been here.
Yeah, he has been in our
There's a
train
picture or
station.
a postcard where you can see him on the platform and the train.
Yeah,
Maybe he's been in the house.
yeah.
We don't know.
You know, sometimes you walk into a thrift store. Usually I walk into a thrift store and I expect to see a lot of crap. And then, I do. And then, it's only when you start chasing and looking, like really looking, that you'll find a treasure occasionally. And this is actually one of those. We walked into a thrift store that was full of crap. And suddenly we find this by moving stuff around. It was one of those really bad kind of thrift stores.
But I think we should change the frame. We should have something more
Regal.
regal.
Yeah, because we bought it that way.
No.
Did we frame it?
Yeah, we framed it. No, the dogs are crazy again. I think we just bought the cheap frame and we framed it because I think it was just like a carton or
Yeah, it's
no,
carved.
it was something with a broken glass.
Yeah, it's printed anyway. Yeah.
So we have to find the frame. But
Yeah.
I think we need something more
We do, yes.
stylish.
We do treasure it, and we do treasure it a lot. But it's something quite common. So you'll find this particular print all over Norway. Do you remember there was a controversy with this particular? Okay, so I'll recap the story. We were with a friend when we found this, and this is like 20 years ago. It was cash only, and so we asked her if we could borrow it was 100 kroner. That's what we pay for it, which is $10, a little bit less than that. No, a little bit more than $10. Anyway, we didn't have cash. This is on the, in the good old days when we didn't have smartphones and we couldn't, so we asked her if we could borrow the money from her. And she said yes. And then when we got it and we hung it, she really liked it. So she kind of claimed it as her own, saying that it's hers because she bought it. Mm-hmm. And we were like, I
think I bought her another one.
Exactly. Well, at the end of the story, we had an argument with her because we borrowed the money. We'd actually paid her back by then.
Yeah.
So we had paid her back, and she wouldn't go down. She really wanted this, and it ended up that Arne found one in another thrift store, and then we bought it for her
because we had framed it already.
Yeah.
It was nice where it hung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So borrowing money from friends is not a good idea ever.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, but you see, it could have gone really bad.
It's easier now with the telephone and everything.
Yeah, now you just do your
You don't have cash anymore.
No.
No.
But back in the old days, we didn't have it either.
No. It's strange, like there was like articles in the newspapers about the new Norwegian money. I don't think I've seen all of them. I haven't held them in my hands.
Well, they released the 100 bill, the 200 bill, the 500 bill, but they haven't released the 1,000 bill yet.
Oh, they haven't? Okay.
I think.
Maybe I'm seeing the 200 bill in real.
Yeah. But the Norwegian money, we're going to have to, you know what? We're going to have to go to the bank and we're going to have to take out a few bills and show them here. The Norwegian money is considered to be one of the most beautiful monies in the world. It's won all these awards and prizes. And in Norway, it's very typical, especially for the government things, when you issue something, you have a competition. And so a lot of very prestigious design companies will enter the competition. And apparently for the money, there were two suggestions, one from one company and one from the other, and they were so good that the government decided to put one artwork on one side and the other artwork on the other side. And one of the artworks is done by Snøhetta, the architectural firm that built the opera here in Oslo, the library in Alexandria, the Ground Zero monument is also done by Snøhetta.
So they're beautiful.
Yeah, and they're gorgeous. We're gonna actually let's go to the bank and take out some cash and we'll show everybody.
We don't see them actually.
What?
It's a pity we don't see them.
It is, yeah, because they're so beautiful.
Yeah, we don't use them.
Yeah, and the Norwegian passports that are gonna be coming up are gonna be beautiful as well.
Yeah.
I read somewhere, I don't know if it's true, but I read somewhere that when like when you put the passport under light to see if it's
valid or
real or not. The Norwegian passport, when you put it under light, it's going to have the aurora borealis. I think that sounds insane.
That's cool.
So cool. Yeah.
We should have them.
Yeah. Anyway,
we don't have them either. We have nothing.
Well, no. Well, the passports aren't issued yet. It's going to come. I mean, I don't know when.
So maybe. We'll have to remake a new one.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I heard about the passport. I'm not sure if it's true, but.
What else have we done this week?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We had a lot of fun.
What were we talking about?
Yeah. So
the felting.
Yeah.
We were felting.
Yeah. We set up a laboratory here in the weekend. And what did you do, Arne?
I tried to felt in the kitchen. What you call that? The food processor.
Yeah, the KitchenAid.
I thought that was a good idea, and it didn't work.
No.
We did get a lot of tips of how we should do it, so maybe it works for some people, but for us it didn't work. We tried everything, so now we're back to the washing machine.
Yeah, we posted a very short 15-second clip.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah, we posted it more. We posted it more because it was funny than because, of anything else. A lot of people suggesting we try to use the other hooks, the dough hook.
I tried all of them.
None of them worked, and it was I don't know.
Think it works.
Did you waste the pom-poms? Did you throw them away?
No, I put them in the washing machine.
Oh yeah, so they ended up being
They came out very nice.
Yeah. So if you wanna do the pom-pom felting, the best way is not to use the KitchenAid or the food processor. No. Go grab.
Use the washing machine.
Go make your pom-poms, put them in the washing machine, and then put them in the dryer as well. And that's the way to do it. We got a lot of questions. We were asked a lot of questions. I was reading in the comments. Yeah. A lot of those questions we're not going to answer because people ask how much a pom-pom shrinks.
Oh, that's
and
hard.
That really depends on a lot of different.
Depends on your washing machine. It depends on how much you put in the washing machine with the pom-poms.
It depends on the
how many
detergent you use.
So I think if you want to make project with the pom-poms,
you have to try yourself.
Just felt them.
Yeah.
And there's also different pom-pom makers, different sizes. So just felt and try. See what happens because
you have to do that. We cannot give you the answer. We
do that all the time. We try and fail and try again.
Yeah, well, what we can say for sure is that the pom-poms will shrink.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna start saying they're gonna shrink 20% because then you put them in your machine and they only shrink 10%. You know what I mean?
But how do people actually measure that?
I don't know. I mean, it's when it comes to felting, it's definitely trial and error. You have to try it yourself, and you have to make sure to find a way to just take notes.
See what happens.
And the good thing about the felting is if it felts too little, just put it back in the machine. It'll felt a little more, and then put it in the dryer. It'll felt a little bit more. And then see what you like. You're not going to get two identical either. I have to say that as well. the balls are never going to be exactly the
It
same.
depends on how much yarn you put on. Sometimes they're a little bit smaller, and
But yeah,
they're more or less the same if you do them
but
at the same
they'll
time.
never
but
be identical.
No,
No.
and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can't see it.
Another question we had, because we use our pom-pom thing, like a mat, we put that on the table so that when we bring our pan from the kitchen and we put it down on the pan, because wool doesn't burn. And
It might melt, but it doesn't.
It might melt, but it won't burn.
But you don't take it directly from the stove when it's burning hot.
Oh yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't burn.
But you never eat it when it's so warm.
The food?
Yeah.
No, but I take, if I have something in the oven, I'll take it out and I'll put it on that.
Yeah.
And, the worst that can happen is it will get a little black,
Yeah.
but it won't burn.
No.
There's no way it's going to burn. Somebody was asking about the thread. Will the thread burn?
It happened here.
No, I think the pom-poms are too dense. Once you've put them through that felting process, you've got a big layer of protected wool.
Yeah.
So whatever thread you put through, it's not going to get hot because the wool is going to stop it. And you're not taking the placemat and literally throwing it in the fire. I guess it would melt, and I guess the thread would also melt. But as long as as long as you have this placemat thing or this mat thing, and you're putting a pan on top, it's not going to get too hot in the center. It's not going to get hot at all, to be honest.
But so far it hasn't happened here.
No, and the placemats that we have in gray and red, we have actually used those regularly for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
We've had those 10 years and we use them all the time. Whenever I've got something out, because I think they look good, I think they look pretty as well.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I have something coming out of the oven that we want to put on our table, I always take that.
But I'm making a new version now. Can I talk about that?
Sure, you can talk about it.
Is it a secret?
No, we have no secrets for our fans.
Because I think it will look nice. But then again, I don't know how it works because we have a lot of those buttons from all the jackets.
Oh yeah, that.
My plan is to sew those. I think it's tin. What's that in English? Tin? Pewter, and I think we'll sew one on each.
It's pewter,
ball.
but I think
it's the same.
It's pewter if you make like a vase or something. I don't know when you use it as buttons if it's pewter.
It's called tinknopper.
In Norwegian, it's pewter. Yes.
Okay. It's like the one you find on old Norwegian jackets.
Yeah, it's what you use when you don't use real silver. You use that.
So I'm gonna sew them on. So
put it in the comments. I'm sure you will.
Yeah. There's like one button on each ball. That's what I'm going to try. But then again, I don't know if the tin will be very warm. So I have to make some experiments.
Yeah.
And see what happens. But I think it's a good idea.
That's what I love though. I mean, like we do these things now. As Arne said in the video last Sunday, we have a lot of fun. And one of the things we love doing is creating a laboratory here and kind of experimenting with things.
It's always fun and try to do new things and see if it works. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. Yeah. At least you've tried.
Yeah, exactly. It's like curious children who sometimes they get into a little bit of mischief because they're trying out things. They're curious, what will happen if I do this or if I do that. And sometimes we do that too because sometimes when you have an idea and you just want to see what happens, it can actually result in something amazing. Now the pom-pom felting in the food processor, we knew it wasn't going to work.
I didn't knew that.
You didn't?
No, I had like big hopes. I thought maybe it was a good idea.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it was like, when you did the dough, it was going...
Yeah, that's true.
So I was thinking, pom-poms.
Anyway,
But maybe it works for some people because we have a lot of tips of how to do it.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway...
It didn't work in our...
Anyway, if you've been following us or the teasers that we do, I mean, we've got our 15-minute podcasts that we do every week. The Sit in It for a Bit is about...
That's this one.
It's about 15 minutes. And then we've started doing something new. We call it the short, which we put on YouTube as a YouTube short. Or we put it on Instagram as an Instagram reel, and those are like just a few seconds. There are a few seconds of a video, and they're like they work as a little teaser for what's coming, and that's how we actually did your food processing one. Now, if you've been following, you've probably seen what we put out yesterday, which was the little short or the few seconds of felting Magnus. So I don't know, would you do the honors of showing what we...
But first, this is the original Magnus. He's tiny.
He's so cute.
This is the Magnus mouse.
I think he's so little we need to do this so people can see how cute he is.
But then we made another one in yarn for felting. And we put him in the washing machine and he came out like this. We had to shape him a little bit. I should have done more shaping when he was wet.
Yeah.
For the face. But he's so cute. He came out so cute. And
yeah, I have to say, I started laughing when I saw the video. And I think, judging by the comments, most people did too. Arne kept it a secret from me. So a little behind the scenes here. Arne kept the whole thing a secret. And he was saying, whatever you do, don't go into the laundry room.
No.
And I was like, why? And then he says, it's a surprise. So, and actually for one, usually I'd be really curious and I do everything to get into that laundry room. But I don't know why. I think I must have been busy with something because I didn't go.
Well, you listen.
I listened to you.
I told you
yeah.
not to go, and you didn't.
And then when Arne came with a phone in his hand, and that big grin on his face, he looked like a very happy child, on his way to the candy store.
I think he became he came out so nice.
And the video was fabulous.
I think it was like 70 centimeter tall,
yes.
And he came out, and now he's 50, I think.
Yeah.
50, and actually he's been in the machine 2 times with a pair of Converse.
And I love the smell.
I think we have to make him a sweater, like in red and white, and he can be in the sofa for Christmas.
Yeah, I love the smell.
It's a Christmas mouse.
Because you use some really nice detergent to wash him. Oh yeah.
And this is the what's it called, the wool again? The thrift?
Yeah, no, this is the Vamsegarn. Vamsegarn from Rauma, or you could also use a wash and filzit from Schahenmeyer. It is a worsted yarn. And it's not treated in anything, so it felts. And then it's been stuffed with acrylic stuffing.
Yeah, because I think I like to use that acrylic pillow thing.
Yeah,
filling,
the acrylic stuffing.
Because that pops out again when it dries. If there was wool inside,
it would get too
I think
hard.
It will be lumpy.
Yeah, and maybe the wool would also get really hard.
Yeah, because this is like a shell. I think it's really nice.
And he's very, come on, he is so squeezable and he is so cute.
You don't like his tail.
No, you know what? The tail is really weird because it's actually the I-cord.
It feels like a real one.
And it actually,
can feel bones.
And it's kind of like the exterior of the I-cord got felted, but the interior didn't. So it really feels like the
you think
vertebrae.
It's disgusting?
Yeah, the tail. I don't. You know what? I've never touched a rat's tail, but
it's probably like.
Yeah. Anyway, here he is, our felted mouse. He went from 70 centimeters of height to 50 centimeters of height. And I think he is just the most adorable. And he's so, he's so squishy. And he's so soft.
You can have him as like
yeah, I love him so much.
in your bed.
Yeah, like a little teddy, but a mouse.
A mouse.
Yeah.
But if you want to do something like this, it can come out in many different sizes. Yeah. So that's really hard to tell how big it will be. Even if you use the same yarn, it can shrink in a different way in your machine. Also, it depends on what you put in the machine with the mouse.
Exactly, yeah.
So this had a pair of Converse because we want to hit him really hard.
So anyway, for those of you, because I know that a lot of people now are seeing this and they want to do it too. Now, for those of you that have a copy of our book, Knit and Crochet Garden, in Norwegian it's called Håndarbeid fra hagen, and in Dutch it's something with flowers, blomstersbryten or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have that book, Knit and Crochet Garden, Håndarbeid fra hagen, the pattern for the mouse is there, and it's actually the exact same pattern. So this is actually knitted with the exact same pattern as this. We're going to put them next to each other so you can see.
It's like
so if you have that book, you already have the pattern. And what we're going to do is we are going to be posting on our blog. So go to arnecarlos.com, go to the blog, and you will be able, there's going to be a post there about the felted Magnus mouse, and you can read everything that we've done. we've got, because I hope you wrote everything down.
Yeah, I think I have the number of
the specifics,
walls.
yeah. So we will give you the information, the number of, or the amount of yarns, the needles, and exactly what we did to felt him, how we, the program in the machine, how many times. All the information is on our blog. So go to ARNECARLOS.com, visit the blog, and you'll get it there. Now, unfortunately, the book Knit and Crochet Garden is out of print in English. It's not available anymore, sadly. And it's not up to us. It's our publisher in America who has decided, for the time being, not to print it again. And because of that, what we have done is we have put the pattern of the mouse on our web shop. So all you need to do is go to ARNECARLOS.com, visit our web shop, and you can purchase the pattern there. And right now we decided, because it's been so much fun felting this, and I'm sure a lot of people want to try, we've actually discounted the pattern with 25% off. And the discount is going to be valid until the end of April. So you have some time now if you want to knit and felt mice. We can really recommend it. It's fun. And then you get the squishiest, loveliest thing you've ever seen. We're also going to be linking the pattern to the blog. So if you go to ARNECARLOS.com and visit the blog, you'll get all the specifics for how we felt it. And you also will be able to purchase the pattern from there. So yeah, he's lovely.
This will live in the dollhouse with the other mice and dolls, and this one will be on the sofa or in your bed.
So do you think Magnus should join us for the rest of our podcast?
Yeah. I feel like squeezing his.
I know he's very squeezable.
I want to have sharper nose.
Yeah,
like
and what Arne was saying is absolutely true. The way it's been the way the wool felts, and then the fact that you have that acrylic inside, it actually creates this shell. So his tummy is very squishy, and his
it pops out again. It's really nice.
Yeah, his feet are very squishy, and it kind of, you feel that there's
it's like a shell.
Yeah, it's like a shell. Very cute. Yeah. So anyway, we really love him, don't we?
He's nice.
Yeah.
So what more had happened? Oh, we had more questions.
We did?
Didn't we have, didn't people want to see this one?
Yeah, that's true. Before we do that though, I remember another comment that has been popping up a lot because of the talk of the outdoor toilet, the talk about the King and Queen of Norway. Right now there is a series going in American PBS. It's called Atlantic Crossing.
Yeah,
and a lot of people have been wondering if we've seen it. And yes, we have. Atlantic Crossing. It was actually shown in Norwegian television
this winter or
last year in November, December, I believe.
Yeah.
But we actually, Arne and we have a very cool link to the series because it's been produced by a very close friend. I would say she's part of our chosen family, and we actually celebrate Christmas with her, and her family. Quite often.
Yeah.
And Atlantic Crossing. So we heard a lot about the series and the background and all her issues in production, because apparently.
Yeah, because there's a little bit.
Yeah.
They did some twists there.
Yes.
Which is not historically
correct.
Yes. But it's more for the
drama.
But
there's
been a lot of criticism.
Yeah. Our friend told us the director has gotten a lot of criticism for. The series has received some criticism that it's not historically accurate, but it actually is. The series is historically accurate. It is a fact that when the Norwegian royal family fled, when the Nazis invaded Germany, the King of Norway and the Crown Prince went to England.
Or Norway.
So, what did I say?
Invaded Norway, not Germany.
Oh yeah, when the Nazis invaded Norway, the King of Norway and the Crown Prince fled to England, and then the Crown Princess fled to Sweden with the 3 kids. One of them is our current king. And then from Sweden, Roosevelt sent a warship and took them back to America. And the Crown Princess of Norway, who is the current king's mother, was a very close friend of President Roosevelt during the war.
So that's true.
So that's absolutely true. What has been criticized in Norway is it's been a little bit exaggerated. What influence Crown Princess Märtha of Norway would have had on the president. But on the other hand, that speech, Look to Norway, that Roosevelt held, he did hold it, and it was inspired by the Crown Princess. Yeah. So it's a little bit exaggerated, but it is accurate. It is what happened. And then, of course, we have also talked about Dovre, the pattern, And we mentioned in one of our episodes about the history of that pattern. We actually talk about the flight or the crown princess and the current prince or the current king of Norway, who was the prince then, fleeing Norway and him wearing the sweater. And they actually reproduced the sweater for the show, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So I would still recommend watching it. And some of it is a little bit exaggerated, so there needs to be a little pinch of salt. But it's a good show, so enjoy it.
I'm going to go back and look at it one more time because I have to look closer to those embroidery stitches that the Queen of Sweden was doing. Remember? There was
the King of Sweden.
Yeah, the King of Sweden.
Not the Queen, the King.
Did I say Queen?
Mm-hmm.
I meant the King.
Yeah, Gustav V.
Yeah, he was doing embroidery, remember?
Yeah, well, he was known for that. He was a prolific embroiderer. Actually, that's how he kind of... he embroidered himself out of getting involved in the war, to put it that way. Because Sweden became neutral.
Yeah. But it was interesting to see the stitches he was using. So I think we have to look at that.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. So that will conclude our talk of outdoor toilets and royal families.
So we won't talk any more about outdoor toilets.
Unless we have to.
Or unless
we go to one and then we want to share the story about... we have a little whiny dog there that wants to go out somewhere.
Is it Freya?
Yeah, she's standing behind me. I don't know.
I just didn't understand where it came from. Yeah. Okay.
And then we've got another some comments. People have been asking quite a lot about the books that we were reading in Easter.
Yeah.
And there's a twist to the whole story. People want to know how I enjoyed UNESCO. And now I have to be honest and say I haven't read it yet.
Because I took it.
Well, yeah, and there's a reason for that.
And you found another book.
But Arne.
So I finished all my Nancy Drew books. So I started to read this one, the Jon Espe Kniv, the knife or something. And it's so what you say?
Scary.
Spännande.
Exciting.
So now I'm hooked on his books.
Yeah.
And we went to this thrift store in Lillehammer last week, and I was looking for more Nancy Drews because I'm like a little bit hooked on that also. I want to read more. And there was like last time we were there was like a long shelf with Nancy Drew books, and they were all gone. I can't understand how so many books can disappear in 1 week.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of him. But I didn't buy more because now I think I have to finish a few books before we bring more books in. Yeah. Actually, I brought books into the house.
So how's it going? How's it going?
It's going well. It's like it's a murder and it's very spooky.
So I'm gonna reveal the reason why I didn't read this book. I was gonna read it. It was on my list. I even showed it. And then Easter came and I started reading because I thought I'd do this. I'll read it. I thought I'd read a few pages about this book. This is the book by ARNE CARLOS about the insects. What was the name again?
Amazing insects.
Yeah, we'll put it on the blog anyway. Go to the blog and you'll find the information.
This one is in English. Is the other one in English?
No, one of them is available in English and it is on the New York Times bestseller list. So this is a brilliant scientist who knows everything about insects. And she's not one of those dry scientists.
Oh, this is very good. I read a few pages.
She's incredibly fun and she is a fantastic author. So she's done these two books, one of them about insects and then the other one about insects, because that's what she does. And I started reading them, and I started reading this one, and I just couldn't put it down. So I was like, okay, one more page. I'm going to read one more page, and then I'm going to do Jon Espe's book. And then I'm going to read another page. And then I read another page, and then suddenly I come to chapter 2. The sex life of the insects.
And then you were...
I couldn't put it down. I could not put this book down. Because everything I didn't know, I wanted to know about how insects have sex, is in this book. And it's amazing. I mean, I may be blushing now. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna give anything away. But but it's incredible.
If you want to read more about these things, there's also a little bit in this one.
About the insect sex life?
No. not the insects.
Anyway, you really want to read this book. It's amazing. It's amazing. It is so bloody good.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And then once you read that, you have this one to look forward to, which I'm sure. I mean, this one has been translated into, I don't know, 20. It's sold to 24 countries.
Yeah.
And then this one here is probably going to come soon.
One.
Yeah, it's the newest one. And these are, I mean, the best books I've read in a very long time. I think I'm going to reread chapter 2 again. Because there's some things there, oh boy.
But I when we talked about Jon Espe, I just decided I shouldn't bring more books into the house. And then I remembered when we went to that store and I couldn't find the Nancy Drew, I actually brought books home.
Really?
You remember? I bought this too.
Oh yeah.
I found this. I didn't bring back the Nancy Drew, but I found these. There's 2 of these books. These are so beautiful.
What are they?
Norwegian farms in Uppland.
Oh, okay.
That's the area where I come from. And we had these books at home when I was a kid. They're still in my father's house, but they're like used so well.
He loves those books.
Yeah. And when I started my genealogy, this was actually the books I was using a lot, because you can find in these books you have the farms in different areas in Norway, and then if you have some relatives, you can just look them up in this book. They're like picture of the farm and a little information. So this is.
Isn't it easy? I mean, if you know the farm, it's easy to find the people, because a lot of people use the name of the farm as their last name. Isn't that true?
Sometimes they also change owners. So
yeah, that's true. And then the farm changes name.
Yeah.
But like your farm has been.
Yeah, but then they came from another farm, and that's where the problem pops up, because my family had the same last name as the people who bought the farm the next time.
Yeah.
And they're all Ole. So there's like a lot of Olsen, and then if you don't know the right Ole, you can end up with the wrong person.
That's true. But your last name is.
Now that's from the farm where I grew up.
So Arne's last name is it's near.
It's like the lower field.
Yeah.
On the farm.
I think we may have discussed this before. Yeah. So Arne's, a lot of farms in Norwegian, they're quite vertical because of the mountainous landscape where these farms are, and these are usually dairy farms. And so Arne's farm, originally a very big farm, it would have had fields, in the lower part and then in the upper part. And your last name literally means the lower field.
Yeah. So a lot of the names actually tell you a little bit about the landscapes
and where you come from.
So this is the picture of the farm where I grew up. It's this one, Nedjordet. And at this time, it's actually my great-grandfather who was the farmer, so he's in the book, and his parents, and then my great-grandmother, and my grandmother and her 2 sisters. So this is worth the weight in gold.
Especially when you find your families,
I'm so
your
happy
relatives
I found
mentioned in these books.
So instead of bringing Nancy Drew home, I brought this home.
But you were very disappointed.
I was very disappointed.
And then the other day I was doing my physiotherapy, and Arne walked, was it the library you walked into?
Yeah, and they had like Jon Espe for sale.
5 kroner, which is like 50 cents for how many books?
5 books. No, 20 kroner for 5 books.
Oh yeah, that's it. And you didn't have cash, and they didn't accept any mobile payments or anything.
They only do cash, and we don't have cash.
But why couldn't you just take them and then pay them later?
No, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, but then what happened was...
I went to the bank and I took out the 200 kroner.
The week after.
And they were gone. But of course, it's a good bargain. But you can get this in the other thrift store for only like 20 kroner for 1 book, and it's still cheap. What
I want to do when this fall, when because now we're going towards light, but the moment we go towards darkness again, I would love cozy evenings in front of the fireplace with audiobooks, Jon Espe audiobooks.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna get so scared.
It's actually nice. Then we can do some knitting and we can listen to the same book.
Or do some pom-ponging, or do some laboratory. We'll do a laboratory of something, and then we'll do audiobooks.
I like to read the books
by Jon Espe.
I like to have books in a room because it feels more.
But I have to say, okay, he's qualified as one of the greatest Scandinavian authors of all times, but
she's good.
I'll take this over this any day.
There's a little bit of crime in that one also.
Yeah, there is a little bit of crime.
She covers everything.
Yeah, she covers everything. But yeah, it's chapter 2. Say no more.
Yeah.
Okay, Arne.
Yeah. So let's really show my beautiful suitcase.
Yeah, I keep calling it a picnic basket, but it's actually a suitcase.
It's a picnic suitcase, and we should open it and show the treasures. I think it will look so good in the beetle.
Yeah.
Don't laugh.
You know you have my support 100%. Whatever you want, you have.
Look.
But do you really want that?
Look. We never buy anything for picnic anymore, because in this one there's like plates.
Oh God.
And you can wash them.
Yeah, this is Arne's. This is Arne's.
I'm a bit stupid, am I?
No, you're not stupid. But this is Arne's amazing picnic basket.
And look, you can put the forks and knives, and you want to have something in silver, so you can have that. You can put other stuff.
Yeah, but where does the champagne bottle go?
I can show you. We have bowls, we have small plates, we have 4 cups, and we're actually 4 people going on a road trip this summer. So we have 1 cup each.
But you can't drink champagne out of a plastic cup. I'm sorry.
And we have egg cups, 4.
Yeah.
Look, and it says that this is 50 kroner. So I got this one really cheap. Oops. You're making a lot of noise.
I know. This is Arne's amazing buy.
But if you look inside, this is like, look at this. And you see, down there you can put like foam, or what's it called? You know, the things they use in RuPaul's Drag Race when they want
padding.
Padding.
Okay.
You can put padding, and then you can put the champagne bottle down there. You can have padding, and you can have real champagne glasses on this side. You just close it carefully, and you put it in the back of the beetle.
I'm gonna give you an A for effort. You really are trying to sell this, aren't you? To me.
I've already bought it.
Yeah, no, you're trying to sell it to me. When he said
Will you buy it?
When he said I got this amazing picnic basket, I was kind of seeing a basket, you know, where you a beautiful.
You saw like Fortnum and Mason something.
Kind of, yeah, that, yeah.
This is better.
Okay.
Are you looking forward to this year's road trip?
I am. Oh, you forgot to put your egg cups in.
Well,
you know what?
I can't go on a trip without egg glass. And they're not opened yet.
Yeah. You know what? I'm looking forward to the trip with or without the basket, the picnic thing. I'm still looking forward to it because you're going to be there. And I'm going to be there. And we're going to have a great time.
And I save the environment. Because no one will throw these plastic things away.
No, they're just going to pile up here. I keep them
in the suitcase and they stay here forever.
Okay.
Are you happy?
Well, I don't know what... It's not my thing because I'm not... it's not my thing, but I support you.
But look,
okay?
You can have a nice cardigan, you can have a nice hat with matching pattern, and...
Okay, sold.
You will look so good.
I'm gonna look so good. Yeah, I support you. No matter, you know what? No matter what, I support you.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, well.
And with a little bit of padding, you can put anything in.
I'm glad that makes you happy. That
even
alone.
Space for some embroidery or knitting.
Sorry? Yeah.
It's space for my knitting or embroidery. You can sit there with your mouse.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you like. I mean, I'm glad you like it, and I'm glad it makes you happy, and that alone makes me happy. Yeah. So the bottom line here is we're very different people. Arne likes some things that I don't like, and I like some things Arne doesn't like. But we support each other. We are happy for each other, and my motto is when Arne is happy, I'm happy, and that's what counts. And I
I think you're easier to please than me. You're
okay.
happy for smaller things.
So I gave you a compliment now, or I said something. Come on, I can't hear you.
What did you say?
I said when you're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, when you're happy, I'm happy.
Oh, I thought you would use your imagination and return it with some other. It's okay. We're happy. That's the point. We're always happy.
But you're easier to please because
I'm more simple than you.
Yeah,
or?
you need like smaller things. They're probably more expensive, but smaller, and then you're happy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I can have like a lot of cheap things, and that makes me happy. So it's more clean around you.
Yeah.
It's easier to.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm a very decluttered kind of person. I'm a Virgo, okay? I said it. I'm a Virgo. So Virgos tend to be a little bit
Or organized.
Yeah. Let's say organized as instead of saying a more vulgar kind of word. Yeah, that's what we are. We're organized, and I can't work in a messy environment. Now Arne is Cancer.
But I'm born early in the morning, the first day of the Cancer, so I guess I have a little bit of the Gemini also.
And you're a very creative. I'm a very creative. Okay, so this is weird. I'm a very creative person. I'm a very creative.
Yeah, but maybe your what's it called? Ascendant.
Yeah, ascendant.
Is in another, like my ascendant is in the Lion.
Yeah, but I'm a very creative person, but I don't need the chaos around me to be creative. You, on the other hand,
I need the chaos, but you can be creative without the chaos. But maybe it's easier because you have my chaos.
Yeah. So I mean, we've lived together for over 20 years, and I do tend to clean up after Arne a lot. But I am happy to do it. I mean, we have to live in a compromise. So. So yeah, chaos and then non-chaos and yeah, sometimes I'm sure.
I don't know how you do it because you're so organized. Like even my computer is a mess. It's so chaotic. I can't find anything, and sometimes it's a huge problem because I can it's like you work on a design thing and I make like a document and suddenly I copy the document and I make a new document and I compare those two, and then sometimes I forget to delete the old document, and then I end up with two documents. And what's wrong with her?
I don't know. She wants to go out.
Yeah, she's not going anywhere.
She's not going anywhere until we're ready. Yeah. Anyway, there's creative chaos, and then there is a little bit of
But you're so organized. I really can't understand how you make it, because you manage to be creative in that organized space.
I'm a Virgo. I think that says it all. That says it all.
I really can't understand how you do it. But it's very amazing. I have to say I appreciate that you have that.
Yeah.
Because if you were as chaotic as I am, I don't think we couldn't have done anything.
Yeah, that's true. And I appreciate that you're messy, and I mean, I've learned to live with it. So
but not if you go into the studio, you don't appreciate it. And not if you look for something on my computer. I know you're a little bit frustrated because
what I've learned after all these years is that if I want to find something that is in Arne's domain, I don't go in and look for it myself. Whether it's the computer or your area in the studio, I will ask you to find it, because that will really frustrate me. Walking into chaos and then not being able to find what I want will just drive me nuts.
But sometimes, like if you go up there to find things and I tell you where it is, you normally you don't find it at once, so you start to move things, and then I'm lost. Every time you've been there and looking for things and you have moved things around, I can't find anything because I know where things are in the chaos. I think a lot of people are like that.
I'm sorry, Arne. I am really sorry. But now the viewers learned I don't know if we mentioned our astrological signs before, but maybe now people will understand me a little better and why I am.
But what's your ascendant?
I don't know. I'm going to have to ask. I'm not into astrology. I'm not really into it.
I checked it, and I'm a Gemini with the Lion a Cancer with the ascendant in the Lion.
Yeah.
And That's the dangerous mix I read.
Yeah, well,
It can be very chaotic.
and in my case, I've heard, so apparently my sign is the one that people say, oh, I'm a Virgo, and then they say, oh, that explains a lot. So I think it's kind of a negative thing to be a Virgo. I can't help it, I was born in August, that's the way it is. But yeah, I think that now when I mention my sign, people will understand what I'm all about. And yeah, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
We're also now getting
Don't be
ready.
ashamed.
No.
There's a lot of nice virgins around.
Not virgins, Virgos.
Virgos. Nice Virgos.
Anyway, right now.
Well, English is my first language, as you know. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I'm creating new words.
Yeah.
Or,
You're
there's a lot of Norwegian in the English language.
Yeah.
So people should listen to me because
The
maybe
thing-
I have the original.
Yeah. The thing is, we found a great compromise in living together. Certain areas of the house are a little bit more chaotic than others. So we have a divide in what can be chaos and what should not be chaos. And right now, I mean, I'm looking at the table over there and I'm seeing a little bit of chaos where it shouldn't be.
No, but
there's an explanation.
Yeah, because now we are going somewhere.
Yeah, we're preparing ourselves for a trip. And therefore, we have to, bring out stuff
Yeah.
that we're going to take on the trip. This is going to be our first.
It's a business trip.
Yeah, it's our first work trip since we went to Lofoten in this last summer, in June.
So it's exciting. We
It's
are
very
going
exciting.
somewhere this week.
Yes, we are. Norway has slowly started to open up, and we are actually traveling to the one area which is green. Green in the sense that there's no new cases. We're going to Trondheim, and we're really looking forward to spending 5 days in Trondheim. And it's going to be fantastic. So now I'm trying to find clothes that have a trunk to take with me.
Yeah.
We're going to be packing clothes. And you know what I realized?
No.
We are really low on socks.
Yeah, because we have been
It's
wearing
probably
socks.
yeah. It's probably the only thing that we've been wearing
Yeah.
constantly. Because in Norway or in Scandinavia, you don't actually wear shoes indoors. It's a big no-no. So we're always in our socks. And after being in our socks for a year.
Have we been throwing away a lot?
Yeah, because they kind of, those cheap socks, they kind of wear out and on the heels. And those are not worth saving because they're all, they're kind of...
I don't know how you can mend them either.
No, because the holes end up this big. So I was looking at our drawer and I do think we have to stop by and buy some socks on our way to Trondheim. We're going to be driving.
It's we were out last summer with a Beetle, and then that was like holiday. So we've been out, but that was last summer.
Yeah.
And this is different.
This is very different. Now there is a lot of excitement because we are going to eat in restaurants and we're still going to be social distanced because we still have to be.
We actually been washing the mouth. What's it called?
Yeah, we've been washing our face masks and getting
so
everything
clean
ready.
now for the trip.
But Trondheim has no cases, and our area where we live has no cases either. So we're actually going from one bubble to another, and we'll be okay. But yeah, we're still going to take the precautions. But the most exciting thing is, or put it this way, right now I'm feeling like this very nervous parent because my kid is going to go on his first sleepover with his friend. And I'm very worried, or not worried, but I'm very nervous about, on behalf of my kid. That's how I'm feeling because Helmer...
He's going to stay with our friends.
Yeah.
I think I hope it will go well because it's the first time he's out of the house, and I remember.
No, it's the first time since September.
Since he came here,
he will be separated from us.
Yeah, and I remember the first nights when he came to our place, he was a little bit upset because he left his old house and now he's going to a new house.
Yeah.
So I think.
Well, he's going to our housekeeper's house, and luckily they know each other. But we're mentally preparing for this. We're actually going to be leaving tomorrow.
And she's going to pick him up here.
Yeah, well, that's my idea because I realized that if we drive him to her, and then we leave him there, and then we drive away, he's going to feel like we're abandoning him.
So he will be very upset.
He will be very upset. So in my head, the solution was to tell our housekeeper to come here and pick Helmer and Freya up. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave a couple of hours before, because when we go out, when we go shopping, when we, you know, grocery shopping, whatever, we leave Freya and Helmer here for an hour or two, and it's fine. They manage that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of, you know, pack, get in the car, and we're gonna leave, and we're gonna tell them, you know, to take care of the house, which is the command that we give them, and they'll be fine. Yeah. They'll be fine. And then the idea is that she, an hour later, she's gonna come and pick them up. And then he's going to be all happy and excited to see her, and things should be okay. Yeah. That's our idea.
It's anyway. The best way, I think, because then he will be so happy when she arrives.
Yeah, exactly.
Then there's no problem going into the car.
Yeah, I think that psychologically, I don't think dogs, because they're pack animals, I don't think that dogs feel good if you abandon them, like if we take them to her place and then leave and abandon them.
Then
he knows that when we go shopping, we're just away that we're coming back. He knows that.
With Freya we can do it because she's been in her house so many times, but for him it's the first time, so we have to do it that way.
And we're here all the time, so I mean, we've rehearsed or we've practiced leaving them alone for a few hours, and they're going to be together as well. So Freya and Helmer are going to be with our housekeeper. We're preparing a big cushion for him, and then we have a crochet blanket that he lies on, that we've made, and that we thought we'll make sure that is with him.
It smells like home. I guess.
But don't you feel like that parent, a little bit worried and a little bit excited about your kids?
I'm a little bit afraid that she will call and say this doesn't work. It's like, oh, what are we doing now?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen.
And there's another thing also in the news now. They say it will be snow up in Trondheim next week or this week. So luckily we have the winter tires and we're going over the mountains, Dovrefjell.
Yeah. But the snow is apparently coming on Thursday and on Friday.
And then we're there.
Sorry, no. The snow is going to be coming on Friday and Saturday and Sunday when we're there. Yeah. So when we're driving to
it's fine when we go there, but on the way back.
And then by Monday, it's not going to snow anymore. That's when we're driving back. So anyway, dogs are going to be cared for. I don't think we should worry too much about Helmer. I think because he is with someone he loves. Yeah. And actually, last week, was it last week? Yeah, last week. No, the week before, we went to the dentist with Freya. To the vet, and she had her four teeth pulled out, and we left Helmer alone, and that was his first time alone in the house. Yeah. And we left, and then our housekeeper came while we were away, and she said that when she opened the door, he was so happy, and they went on a little walk together.
They know each other.
They know it. You know what? I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. And there's another exciting thing which is going to happen today. When this is over, we're going to start the Beetle for the first time. Well, it's actually the second time we tried to start
this
her
year,
one more in the garage, and now today we're going to take her out of the garage, and we're going to go down to the what you call that again?
Oops, I'm trying to get Freya.
What's happening?
I don't know. She just wants to.
Yeah? Oh, she's angry. Now we're going to take her down to the verkstad. What's that in English?
The mechanic.
The mechanics, because they're going to do like a control. Just so we're sure that she's good for the summer. Yeah,
she's going to go on a checkup.
That's exciting. We're going to go with the Beatles.
Yeah, and I actually cancelled my appointment with my physiotherapist. I still go there for treatment because of my issues with COVID last year. And I'm doing really well now. I mean, I'm doing really well. And now I do a lot of workouts there under her supervision. She's like a personal trainer more. Mm-hmm. But I canceled her today because I figured if I go with Arne, we're going to drive the car down, and it's actually a 3 kilometer down because we're on top of the mountain and we're going to the valley now. So we're going to drive the Beetle down, and we're going to bring Helmer with us, but Freya's going to stay here. We're going to bring Helmer, we're going to drive down, we're going to deliver the car, and then we're going to walk up the mountain, which is going to take us an hour.
1 hour, I think.
About an hour, and that will be my workout today, uphill. And what you don't know, Arne, is that we're going to do it the way I need to do it.
Wow. Quick and slow.
Yeah, we're gonna walk quickly uphill. We're gonna walk quickly for 2 minutes, and then when we've walked quickly for 2 minutes, we're gonna slow down. Yeah. And then we're gonna walk regularly for 2 minutes, and then we're gonna speed up for 2 minutes and then slow down.
I don't do that. I just follow you. And Helmer will be happy.
You'll do that with me, won't you?
Of course.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah, because that's how I have to do my workout today.
So I have to be behind you with Helmer maybe. And you do your workout in front of me.
Yeah. So once we finish this, I'm gonna go put on a pair of pants, like
your ski pants.
no, my no, they're gonna be
Training.
too hot. I'm gonna put my training pants on,
Ah.
my tracksuit. That's what we call it. Gonna put my tracksuit and off we go. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Gonna be
I
fun.
hope the car starts. But luckily we're members of this thing. What do you call that again?
Falk.
Falk. It's like this
It's an
organization
organization,
that
yeah.
helps you if you have problems on the road with your car, and that's good to have. And I called the mechanics.
The mechanic, yeah.
Mechanic, and he said that if the car doesn't start, I just call him and he will pick up the car. But I think it will start.
I'm sure
I
it'll
hope
start.
it will start.
Okay, Arne. I see that we're having that battery issue soon.
Oh, have we talked for 15 minutes?
Oh no, actually no battery issue.
No?
We could keep going on and on and on. But you know, we do need to do a lot of stuff today. We're gonna pack.
Yeah.
If you've ever wanted to see us pack, there's a video that shows how we pack, and we're going by car because we don't fly anymore. We haven't been on a plane for over a year.
And you don't have to fly to Trondheim.
No, we're driving to Trondheim. It's gonna be a 6-hour drive, and we can bring as much as we want. We are gonna be.
And we will.
We're going to be staying in a beautiful hotel, probably one of the most beautiful hotels in Norway. I can't wait. We're going to eat our meals in restaurants. I can't wait. And we're going to meet some of our... Well, actually, we're going to meet Anna, Eric, and PJ. They're all coming to Trondheim together with us. We are going to meet some good friends of ours who we are also collaborating on some fun projects. It's going to be, I hope, an amazing time. And next time we do our Sit In It podcast, we might tell you a little bit about our trip to Trondheim. So you have that to look forward to. As a final thing, Arne, remember when we went to the vets and they had to sedate Freya?
Yeah.
They had to clean her teeth, and then they pulled out her 4 front teeth, sadly. Actually, you don't see it that much.
No.
You can't notice it. Anyway, we actually had to go out of the vets, and we went to a cafe, and we had a lovely carrot cake with a nice. I had a nice cup of tea. You had a nice coffee, and then there's this lovely lady there called Turi.
Yeah, I think her
And
name is Turi.
she's given us some stuff before.
Yeah.
We don't know her, but she.
But we met her before because she gave us also some nice old books with knitting patterns.
Correct, yeah.
So we got the gift many years ago
So-
when we did a book signing down there.
So the vet said, go and go away. That's what the vet said, and come back in an hour or an hour and a half. And I said to Arne, okay, so we bought some food in the supermarket, and then we went to the cafe. And then Arne, I mean, I love having carrot cake and tea. But Arne, number one, he eats very fast. I think you eat too fast. You need to slow down when you eat.
But I don't have time because if it's good.
And number two, there was a thrift store that was opened. And I said to Arne, I'm going to enjoy my carrot cake. You go to the thrift store. So Arne went to the thrift store, and while he was there, this lovely lady Turid, she came in wearing a face mask, so I didn't recognize her, and she was looking at me really funny, and I was like, "What?" You know.
Who are you?
And then she came to my table. She took off the mask, social distanced, of course, and she asked me if I wanted some projects that were unfinished.
Because she saw the videos.
She saw the video. I said, "Well, I'm sure Arne would love to talk to you, but he's out now, so why don't you wait a little bit, and then when Arne comes, we'll have the conversation together." And then you came back.
Yeah. And I went to her table and I talked to her and I said, yeah, why not? I can take it. I need it.
Yeah, and then she left.
More.
She left a lovely. So we had a nice chat with her at her table, socially distanced, of course. And the week after, we went to the bookstore in Dokka, which is the place where we go to the vet. And because she said she'd leave the box there, and she did.
Yeah, and I got this box. I haven't gone through all of the stuff yet because I want to spend some time doing it.
But you did go through some of it, and some of it is gorgeous.
So, this is so beautiful. So in this box there are this is a finished
Yeah.
pillow, and this pillow goes into
beautiful.
Yeah, this match all the pillows we have in the sofa. So thank you to it.
I really like it. I think we should just do a pillow out of it.
Yeah, this is finished.
Finish it up with some batting and put it on the sofa. Beautiful.
You don't have to do anything with this.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And then there's also.
Oh, can I show that?
Yeah,
because I really love this. I want to show this. So there's tons of this in the box. It's wrapped in this kitchen towel paper, and then when you open it, it's these beautiful.
That is, she said, this is silk.
This beautiful package of silk thread, embroidery thread in silk. And they are just gorgeous, and there's so many of them in all these different colors.
I even like the paper. I think
Yeah.
I would take the yarn out when I use it, and I would keep the paper in my collage book or my art journal.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and it's French. All the writing is in French. 6 meter. Each one has 6 meters of silk. Gorgeous.
It's beautiful. I think you could use this also for the knitted birds we do, or you can.
Or
just
embroidery.
put it in embroidery.
You know, I was thinking when you're going to finish up embroidery, other people's work, then you could also use other people's
yarn
stash.
Yeah.
That kind of, it keeps the story moving.
Yeah. So there's a lot of this in the box, and there's. I think we should go and see what. I haven't opened this one yet. Let's see what this is.
And then I think you had a beautiful embroidery that I would love you to show. The only one I saw.
Yes, this one.
Yeah.
And this is, I haven't opened this one. This is, let's see what this is. This is, this is like something religious. It says, "See, I am standing in front of the door and I'm knocking." So this is, I think it's Jesus knocking on your door.
Yeah, or something.
Look, this is what you're going to do.
Yeah. Well, not us, but.
Well, you might do something out of it because it's actually drawn on the canvas. But what I find very funny is to make something totally different.
Yeah.
Different. Like
take that and just change it all and make it something completely different.
You can finish Jesus and put something new around there.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then do you want to show this one as the last thing today? If you help me lift it up from your side. Yeah, this is quite a pretty little thing.
I don't know what it is.
It's probably, don't you think it's a little tablecloth or something?
I don't know, but there's more pieces in
There's more pieces the same, so we're gonna
I like the bird.
find a new cool way to finish it up.
If you put this way, you can see the bird. I think it's nice. So we also have a lot of other projects which you haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
because
I can't wait.
I want to surprise you, but
I would assume it's all in your clutter.
it's in the clutter, and
So that's you know what, if you want to hide something away from me, where I'll never find it, just put it in Arne's clutter. That's it.
But this pillow we can finish as it is,
as
because
is.
this is nice. And then some people ask like how is it going with the other embroidery? And I brought it down. So now it's starting to be so soft, so I had to put it in the frame, but it's coming.
It's coming, yeah.
I think I will finish it maybe next week it will be finished.
Well, because we're going to be working.
No, in 2 weeks I will
yeah.
finish this one, and this will be a pillow for the car, for the Beetle.
Yeah, so that's exciting that it's going to be finished. We're not going to show it to you again until we're finished.
No, but I think maybe I have a problem with the dark yarn. I think I'm out of dark yarn.
So you just do another yarn, it's okay.
Or I go down where I found it and ask the people in the shop a little bit more about the lady who started this. And there was like bags of yarn I can buy. Maybe there are blue in the bag.
Yeah. So try to find out who the lady is, because everybody wants to know. Okay, I mean this is pretty much what we have time for today. I see a battery issue now.
We have a battery issue, and
so we are going to be finishing up the podcast now. Next week we will give you a recap of what has been going on in our work week, and you'll also maybe we'll find out what happened to Helmer as well, if he was okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait to tell you all about our trip. But yeah, this is pretty much everything we had time for. We're putting information on our blog. The books that I showed about the insects with, the very exciting chapter 2 is going to be there. We're going to be putting all the information about Magnus and the pattern as well. So you have that to look forward to. And then very quickly the formalities, because we don't want to run out.
If you
of
like your
battery.
episodes, put your thumbs up and put on your notifications, because then you get a message every time there's a new video. That means if you are a subscriber.
Yep. So please subscribe to our channel. It is the way, the best way to support us. And there's loads of fun tutorials here. So, Knit and Knit for a Bit is over for this time.
Sit and Knit for a Bit is over.
Sit and Knit for a Bit is over for this time, but we will be back again with a new episode, same time next week. Bye!
See you.
And now we really have to find out what is going on with Freya.
And I want to try something. Look.
Oh.
I have the crown.
Oh, look. Yep, there we go. Bye!
Bye. Funny.
Funny.